In Czechoslovakia, ever larger protests pitting the people against the military. In America, thanksgiving for the homeless who found shelter, and for earthquake victims who found true friends.
NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. Tom Brokaw is off this Thanksgiving. I'm Mary Alice Williams. A dangerous night in Czechoslovakia. In the face of growing defiance and demands for democracy, the military is threatening force against the people as the people are taking to the streets in ever greater force. And one man is becoming the symbol of resistance again. NBC's Rick Davis reports.
The population of Bratislava is 600,000. 100,000 shouted their opposition to the government tonight. The man who tried to bring reform to this country in 1968 was here, Alexander Dubček. The people remember how his reformist government was crushed by Soviet tanks. Dubček called for socialism with a human face and urged workers to support the student strike. And in Prague tonight, as many as 500,000 people were in Wenceslas Square, the largest outpouring of anti-government sentiment ever seen in this country. Dissident writer Václav Havel said, "We will never return to the old system of totalitarian rule." And the crowd shouted, "Shame on the government," and resigned. But tonight, the Minister of Defense, the man who leads this nation's well-trained army, gave a blunt warning. He said, "We reject the spread of anarchy by anti-socialist forces at home and abroad. We are prepared to defend the achievements of socialism." Today, the television station was taken over by police and the workers' militia. Technicians have threatened to show this tape nationwide. The brutal attack by police against students on November 17th, compiled from Western newscasts and amateur video, distributed today by the striking students. But the primary worry of the ruling Communist Party is not the students. It's the workers, particularly in the huge coal, steel, and auto industries. Student strike supporters were prevented from entering this plant in Kladno. Among them, a man expelled from the party in 1968 for opposing Soviet intervention.
The people who had spoke up were punished, and their children were punished, and the people still remember this, and this is why they're afraid.
Tomorrow, the Communist Party Central Committee meets here in Prague. It will be a test of strength. On one side, the hardline Communist Party boss, Milos Jakos. On the other, Prime Minister Ladislav Adamec, who has met with dissident leaders and seems to support reforms in the country. There are reports that he is in Moscow tonight seeking Soviet help. And the people of Czechoslovakia wait, but not patiently. Their demands for reforms have been loud and clear in many cities. Rick Davis, NBC News, Prague.
In this contentious time, the superpowers are matching each other with words of conciliation. A Soviet spokesman today hailed as a doorway to broad and open cooperation President Bush's speech last night, which called for removal of the last barriers to freedom. East German leader Erich Honecker oversaw the building of the Berlin Wall and was ousted just before it crumbled. Today, the Communist Party he once headed announced it has opened a disciplinary investigation of Honecker based on charges of grave abuses. The reforms that Honecker's successor has brought carry with them crippling consequences. That country's limping economy is threatened by a burgeoning business on the black market. Mike Betcher tonight in East Berlin.
Where they once checked for human cargo escaping to the west, East German border guards now will be searching for baby clothes, spices, Christmas geese, and sausage. Along with the tide of East Germans traveling west has come a torrent of black marketeers. In the east, they buy inexpensive government-subsidized items from textiles to martini mix and sell them in the west for hard currency and a big profit. To prove that the East German government means to stop the trade, which is emptying the nation's shelves, state-controlled television took its viewers to a border crossing where piles of black market goods already have been confiscated.
The crackdown won't be restricted just to East Germany's borders. Beginning tomorrow morning, shoppers who want to purchase cheap subsidized goods like sweaters, blouses, or even underwear will have to provide identification to prove that they are residents of East Germany.
That rule is meant to stop West German and Polish visitors from snapping at bargains in the East. And secret police, who 2 weeks ago hunted down dissidents, now will be looking for illegal shoppers. East German economists say the government had to act before the nation was literally sold out.
It's dangerous for our economy and particularly dangerous for the good start for our economic reforms.
Until those reforms occur, what's left of the old barriers between East and West will be pitted against that powerful desire to make a buck. Mike Betcher, NBC News, East Berlin.
And ahead on NBC Nightly News this holiday, from feasting to football to far out in space, Americans celebrated Thanksgiving. And Bob Dotson celebrates an angel who's turned the values of this holiday into a vocation.
It's time for God's people to come out of the churches and change America.
The freedom to say and think what we believe, to express our individuality and diversity. That's our birthright, and it's ensured by this document. Join us and the National Archives in celebrating the 200th anniversary of the Bill of Rights.
A day of thanks and prayer after the harvest. That's what the first Thanksgiving was about 368 years ago. How little the ideas changed, but in the Northeast today, Thanksgiving seemed a little more like Christmas. Record snowfall in many parts of the region. It was New York City's first white Thanksgiving in 51 years. 5 inches in the city, more in the suburbs. There was plenty of time to dig in or dig out and ski a bit. In Boston, up to 5 inches of snow caused predictable problems on the road and significant delays in holiday travel. 4 inches of snow frosted Washington, a crisp new backdrop for its monuments. But for many of the poor and homeless there, today was not much different from any other, except for the chance to get a warm Thanksgiving meal. It's believed that families account for about 1/3 of the homeless. Tonight, on this Thanksgiving, we visit some of them with NBC's Bill Schechner.
Thanksgiving morning, a break in the routine for Donna Graham and her children. It's been tough recently. They're part of a group of about 1 million homeless Americans, and they're more than statistics.
I might don't have a home and decent clothes and stuff like that, but I'm still a human being.
I think most of all, I needed somebody to reach out and say, well, I cared, you know. I needed somebody to say, well, I'll help you. If you're happy and you know, pull your ear.
The Grahams never had their own home. They lived with relatives until it became too crowded. Donna Graham had no job, no money, few prospects. They spent 6 weeks in an armory. Last month, they moved to temporary rooms in this family shelter. They'll have to move again.
Homeless families are not the strongest, swiftest, richest competitors in what's become a survival struggle for housing.
It's something Vicki Williamson of Los Angeles understands. Last year, she quit her job as a bookkeeper to raise her son. Last week, after a fight, her boyfriend threw her out. She is in a shelter in a tough part of Los Angeles.
They all say, don't take your son down there. Don't walk your son down there. What are you doing walking your son down here? But if you have to go someplace, you have to go someplace.
Also new to this world, the Stevensons, first-time volunteers in a shelter near Atlanta. They brought their sons.
They live a privileged life, and I want them to realize that there's other people less fortunate.
Washington has proposed more programs to help the homeless with problems like joblessness, mental health, and drugs. Advocates say that's good, but housing remains the key.
Without the foundation of a place to live, there's no way on earth. A kid's going to learn to read. An adult is going to be able to kick a drug problem. An adult is going to learn how to get the job skills necessary to get back into the workforce.
Same.
For now, Donna Graham's family has decent shelter. It isn't home, but it is something, especially at Thanksgiving.
I think I'm blessed. You know, I can cook for them. I can do things with them now I couldn't do before.
It seems like you have so little.
It is so little, but to me, it's a lot.
Bill Schechner, NBC News, New York.
Watsonville, California, about 100 miles south of San Francisco. It was devastated by last month's powerful earthquake. Hundreds still are homeless. Damage is estimated at $300 million. Yet, as NBC's David Burrington reports, people there are thankful.
The sounds of Thanksgiving were everywhere in this small farming town, even though 2 city blocks wait to be pulled down, and more than 200 people still live in tents. There was a special service for children.
After the earthquake, hundreds of people came to Watsonville to help us. They brought food, water, and clothes.
My mom and dad protected us and helped us feel safe. Our family really stuck together, and I thank God for their love.
All over town, there were special donations of food for earthquake victims, 600 turkeys here, boxes of groceries a few blocks away. At one of the tent cities, volunteers arrived with a complete Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm really thankful that I can give something of what I have, and it gives you a good feeling inside, but still you have that kind of a guilty feeling too, like, oh man, I have so much and they have so little.
Many of those who joined in today's feast had never heard of Thanksgiving before, new pilgrims from Mexico here for a better life, like Salvador Garcia and his family. They lost everything in the quake except hope. Salvador is going back to work in a few days. He's thankful for that, worries about where he'll live, but says he's not afraid of anything.
No tengo nada de temor, no.
Ray Panis today returned to the pile of debris that was once his house. He was thankful for the Red Cross and government agencies.
They've all helped me out a great deal, and I really appreciate them being around. And I will never put down our government again. For the first time in 86 years, there was no Thanksgiving service today at St. Patrick's Church, shattered by the earthquake. But the service went on anyway at a nearby school gymnasium.
We thank you, Lord our God.
This Thanksgiving, we're thankful for real basic things, not new bicycles or shiny cars, but that we're alive, that we have each other, that we can put food on the table.
This close to the epicenter, there's a fresh sense of what's important. David Burrington, NBC News, Watsonville, California.
She's probably chilled as well.
But that was a different a day or two or something.
Did you know that if you're not using AT&T and your 800 number goes out to your customers, you're out of business, and all you can do about it is sit around and wait.
Hi, how may I help you?
But if you use AT&T 800 service and your 800 number goes down for any reason, the AT&T 800 assurance policy guarantees to get you back in business within an hour. The choice is yours. Keep your customers coming through with AT&T. Or take the chance that someday things might get so quiet. Reliability, another AT&T advantage.
Ford profiles in quality. Pride.
When you get pride, you get quality.
That's what I said back in '81.
And today we still have that same pride.
And from what we hear, a lot of people think we're doing a pretty good job. You can hear the quality.
You can see the quality.
You can feel the quality in the way it handles.
Thanks.
That's what happens at Ford, Mercury, and Lincoln when quality is job one.
Bran muffins have more fiber than almost anything. Except prunes. Prunes, the high-fiber fruit.
In South Africa, increasing evidence that police have operated death squads targeting anti-apartheid activists. During the past 15 years, more than 100 of them have been assassinated, but police have failed to charge anyone for any of these killings. NBC's Robin Lloyd has more on this tonight.
It's coming. I'll know that Jappy is dead. Oh, Jappy. Oh, my son.
The mother of Yappy Maponya today learned for the first time that her son may have been killed by a police death squad.
Why? Who made him let he dead?
This revelation came from a black policeman in prison on death row. He claims he was a member of a police assassination squad. Among the alleged victims, Griffiths Mkenge, a human rights lawyer. We then stabbed him several times, his testimony reads. He immediately died, and we carried on butchering his body. The man who allegedly commanded the death squad, Captain Dirk Coetzee, has fled the country, but has confessed to a newspaper reporter that he was under orders to kill enemies of the South African government. He claimed government hit squads carried out political assassinations in several different countries, even bombing the headquarters of the outlawed African National Congress in London.
The allegations of a hit squad were again denied today by...
Despite the denials, authorities have promised an investigation. Human rights lawyers say the police may be involved in a cover-up.
And I must say that it smacks like something that's happening in high places.
The most recent assassination was that of university lecturer David Webster, who was investigating hit squads when he was shot down earlier this year. His assassins have not been found. This farm is believed to be the headquarters of the alleged death squad. Police only will admit it's a center for an anti-terrorist unit. They say nothing about charges. This is where Yapi Maponya was assassinated 4 years ago.
Who killed him? The police. Are they going to support me?
Robin Lloyd, NBC News, Johannesburg.
Lebanon was in mourning today for Rene Moawad, assassinated by a bombing just 17 days after he became the country's president. He was killed yesterday in Beirut. Flags flew at half-staff, and a general strike brought most of the country to a standstill. TV and radio stations played somber music to protest the death of the Maronite Christian leader. A radical underground Christian group claimed responsibility for Moawad's murder and said it would kill any successor.
Whole grain nutrition is important, but only one of these leading cereals has it. Only Wheaties is made with 100% whole grain. Just ask Michael Jordan. Better get your whole grain.
You better eat your Wheaties.
I tell my dad I'm buying a new car, and he'd say, Fluffer and Fluckertash, get a sensible car. Get a comfortable car. Dog, get a gorgeous car. Get a reasonably priced car. No, I did! A Cutlass Sierra. Great when you buy it, drive it, trade it. What more could a family want?
That's all, folks.
Now get up to a $1,600 cash bonus on a 1990 Cutlass Sierra. See your Olds dealer today.
The evaluation committee is in your office.
This is my husband, Paul. He's under a lot of pressure. But now he's taking charge of his health, eating right by cutting down on cholesterol and saturated fat. That's why I cook with Puritan, with no cholesterol and proven 94% saturated fat-free. Better than any other kind of oil.
Your wife calls sneakers before dinner?
Hey, Mr. Principal, carry your books?
Anytime.
Paul's feeling great, and I am too.
Puritan, make it your oil for life.
Having the flu is a nightmare. Your throat's so sore. You're congested. You cough. Body aches all over. But now, there's TheraFlu, the first and only hot medicine made just for flu symptoms. TheraFlu, with a hot liquid like doctors recommend. Strong therapy for fever and cough. Strong therapy for aches and pains. Next time the flu strikes you, strike back with TheraFlu.
Mr. Kayam, I hate shaving.
Doug, try this Remington microscreen. It shaves as close as a blade, or your money back. No other shaver makes that promise.
Smooth. Now I know why he bought the company.
The Remington microscreen.
One day after pilots gave up their strike against Eastern Airlines, flight attendants did the same today, ending their 8.5-month walkout. That leaves only the machinists still on strike against Eastern. The most unusual setting for a turkey dinner this day, the shuttle Discovery, almost 200 miles above Earth. Though the menu was one of the few things officially disclosed about this secret mission, sources did say the 5 astronauts today deployed a spy satellite. Looking ahead, the Bush administration wants to send people back to the moon and onto Mars. But even the first step in this $400 billion plan, a space station, remains controversial and behind schedule. Here's NBC science correspondent Robert Bazell.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
It took only 8 years from the time President Kennedy announced the U.S. would send people to the moon to the day they landed there.
Tonight, I am directing NASA to develop a permanently manned space station and to do it within a decade.
But in the 6 years since President Reagan announced the country would launch a space station, NASA hasn't built even a single piece of hardware.
I am more than concerned about the future of the space station. In fact, I'm very, very worried about whether we're going to be able to have one at all.
Senator Garn worries, even though Congress already has spent $2.1 billion for models, tests, and plans, and will spend another $1.8 billion next year. The station's total cost is estimated at $30 billion. But construction of the station has been delayed again and again because of uncertainty in Congress and the administration about what purpose it will serve and whether it's worth the cost. NASA redesigned the station several times. A panel of the National Academy of Sciences concluded that scientific research could not justify the cost of the station. Dr. Thomas Donahue was chairman.
Almost all of the things that we need to do in space science can be done cheaper and better on automated spacecraft. They don't need a space station.
NASA disagrees. It says the station could be used to study the effects of weightlessness on the human body, to manufacture chemicals such as these crystals, which might make high-quality drugs or computer chips. William Lenore heads the station program for NASA.
We're building the space station to be a multifaceted research facility in orbit, and it'll serve a multiplicity of users.
What everyone agrees the station can do is to provide the ability to keep human beings in space continuously, to many a source of national pride. It could someday be a starting point for trips to the moon or Mars. The crew would live in this module. Americans would do their research in this laboratory. The Europeans and the Japanese want to come along. They plan to build their own modules to be attached to the American station. The Europeans are concerned about the delays.
Well, I think there needs to be a fundamental decision within the U.S. that this program should be done. It should be done on time, and it should be done with the necessary funding.
One reason many proponents argue for an American space station is that the Soviets have had one for years, but the top Soviet space scientist says it has accomplished very little.
I would think that it is mainly for national prestige.
To many, the question is whether an American space station would enhance this country's prestige enough to justify the billions it would cost. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
In a moment, we'll meet an angel of the streets, a woman who finds someone to help every day of the year.
To the average car, this could be a dangerous body of water, even though it's only an inch deep. That's why you should drive the new four-wheel drive Subaru Legacy, the latest in foul-weather gear.
Think I'm fit? You don't know the half of it.
Mike Garfield for Kellogg's Bran Flakes.
It takes a lot of training to get fit on the outside. But there's another Mike Garfield inside. And to help keep our inside as fit as our outside, we eat only one kind of bran flakes. Kellogg's Bran Flakes. It's got plenty of that bran everyone's eating today. Helps you stay fit on the inside. And it tastes good.
Kellogg's Bran Flakes.
Helps keep the inside as fit as the outside.
There are very few guarantees in medicine. But if you have arthritis pain like I do, you should know about Mediprin and the Mediprin guarantee. If 2 Mediprin don't relieve minor arthritis pain better than 2 regular aspirin, you get your money back. Strong promise, strong medicine. The medicine that concentrates the power of ibuprofen into these potent little caplets. The medicine that guarantees better relief than regular aspirin. Better arthritis pain relief. That's the Mediprin guarantee.
This is new Hellman's cholesterol free.
Will I like it?
It has 0% cholesterol.
Will I like it?
It tastes 100% Hellman's.
I like it.
I knew you'd like it.
I knew I'd like it.
New Hellman's cholesterol-free with half the fat. Bring out the best.
It's easy to get caught in thoughts of what we don't have. Today we're compelled to do the opposite, to count our blessings. And though our gratitude may dwindle along with the leftovers, a street angel in Chicago is full of that spirit year-round. Here's NBC's Bob Dotson.
It's working.
Life hasn't passed Wanda Morris by. It just went off and left her. First to go, her husband, leaving behind 5 kids.
Where?
Then her job. Crippling diabetes ended her 35 years as a waitress.
That darn train.
She now lives on disability checks.
You gonna be working that day? I'm getting ready.
No one would fault Wanda for wanting life to wait on her for a while. But that's not how she lives life.
I thought I had lots of problems, and then when I would meet people with problems, their problems was much bigger than mine.
Each day, she seeks out a neighbor in crisis.
A person who has never been in need doesn't know where to go.
Kwang Yen has only rice to feed her family of 8. Her food stamps did not come this month.
I told your wife, don't worry, because everything is going to pay. She's don't want to spend too much.
Wanda bought them groceries.
That's bigger than you.
Wanda is one of 15 volunteers who roam Chicago streets looking for people in crisis. She gets the money to give away from an emergency fund for needy people. Private donations maintain it. She and her friends have helped someone every day for 17 years. They don't just dole out clothes and walk away. They keep coming back, listening for what remains unasked.
I think the poor are more understanding of each other.
I'm living while I'm living, doing the best I can. Ain't that right?
Ted Radcliffe needs more than new shoes. He is the oldest living member of the Negro Baseball League.
Okay, my man.
Double duty.
Nicknamed Double Duty because he caught for Satchel Paige and pitched himself for 36 years. He and his wife, Alberta, have been terrorized by a neighborhood gang.
It's just like people living in Vietnam. It's in the hell.
But they cannot afford to leave.
You understand? It's hell.
They live in public housing.
Hi, this is Wanda from the emergency fund.
Wanda and her friends are seeking a way to move them to safety.
You know, it's like playing God.
Don't you get burned out?
Well, now, if I quit, who's going to feed them?
You buy this? Where's your money?
Nowhere.
We all think of the poor on Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye.
Wanda will be there when our thoughts move on.
Okay.
Bob Dotson, NBC News, Chicago.
That's NBC Nightly News. I'm Mary Alice Williams. All the men and women of NBC thank you this Thanksgiving. We'll be here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Quiet waters by, he doth return my soul for his name's sake. In paths of justice leads me quiet life.
Wow, what a Friday. On Baywatch, the hottest party boat afloat goes overboard.
Tower 7, powerboat out of control.
Then on Hardball, a mad bomber puts Kaz on a ticking treadmill.
If you get off, you're gonna blow up.
And on Mancuso, FBI, it's nuclear sabotage with plutonium in the water supply.
We got a time bomb on our hands.
What a Friday.
I'm Deborah Norville. Tomorrow morning on Today, a look at electric cars of the future. Also on stage with Tyne Daly and 4 decades of music. Tomorrow on Today.
Just ahead on the Thanksgiving edition of The Scene at 6, volunteers bring more than baskets of food with them today at Nashville's Needy. We'll visit a Metro firehouse where it was almost like being home for the holiday.
Also, how Minnie Pearl remembers the Ryman Auditorium, and in our ID4 series, a look behind the scenes at a legendary kiddie show.
These stories and more news coming up next on The Scene at 6.
Nothing moves you like a Mercury.
One ride in Mercury Cougar LS with a special option package, and you begin to see why it's become a cat-eat-dog world out there. Because packaging all these options together can take quite a bite out of the price, and